let's go back to Thursday night. The Eels 16, the Dolphins 20. Seems like an age ago. Big win for the Dolphins, just their second in Sydney in their history. Herbie Farnworth waited until the 50th minute, then exploded with a try, and then he had a match-saving tackle, and then Cody Nikorima was incredibly classy, and then the Eels nearly snatched it late. Isaiah Yongi and Josh Adokar were very good. Moses a little below his best, and you wondered whether that might have an implication on State of Origin selection, but don't worry, we'll get to the Tigers' performance very shortly. Friday night, Knights 20, Titans 24. Wow, what is going on at Newcastle? Up 20-0 at home, and then put the cue in the rack. So on the back of extraordinary performance from Tino Fasua Malaawi. So we got the 5 Dally M points. 5, okay. 70 minutes, 24 carries, 244 metres, 15 kick return metres. So there's a lot of middle forwards can pad their stats with some kick return metres. Of his 244, he had 15 of them. He had 2 line break assists, he had 3 tackle breaks, he had 39 tackles, he had 4 misses. Wow, what a leader. What about this? He wasn't there in State of Origin last year. He will be during the course of 2025. Then we get to it. And Maestro, cue this. The Rabbitohs 22, the Broncos 14. All hail the Outlaws. All hail the new kids. Anyway, the Renegade did it. Another incredible comeback, down 14 points to 0. And Trell Mitt was at the heart of it all. A jaw-dropping field goal, 2 brilliant try-saving tackles. And now there is real concern for the Brisbane Broncos. So Ezra Mann played yesterday. Apparently he's facing a charge, but we'll have to wait and see how that... Justin Hodges said, he'll be right. So if he's on the judiciary, Ezra Mann will be right. Is it Ezra Mann? I'd love to hear from you, Broncos fan. Is Ezra Mann the one that's going to assist the Broncos get back into the winner's circle? They seem to be in control of the match, and then they weren't. Injury to Ben Hunt as well. So that's going to be of concern. Wayne Bennett wears many hats during the course of his 50-plus years in the coaching caper. Right now, it's the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It has been the Queensland Maroons at different stages. For anyone who was questioning who am I going to put in left centre for New South Wales, I think we've sorted it. Raiders 20, Bulldogs 32, maybe set the standard for crazy games in the National Rugby League. Up 20-0, down 32-0 in the second half, the Canberra Raiders. So we had their precision there, we had their efforts, we had their dynamic punching through the middle in the first 40, and then the Bulldogs attacking flair, led by Stephen Crichton, 6 Dally M points for him. No real surprise around that. Locked in for New South Wales. And the Bulldogs now announce themselves as a very real challenger for season 2025 because they've done it without a host of players and in all similar positions too. That's the incredible thing about it. And now we've got the situation where we've got no Jamin Salmon for the Doggies, but Josh Curran, round 12. Sam Hughes, round 12. Jacob Preston, round 15. Satili Tupanua, round 15. Jack Todd still out till round 16. So it's going to take a time before they welcome back some troops as well. Dragons 14, Warriors 15. Again, an early lead of 14-0, and this time the Chasers fall just short. I only saw the highlights of this one, but Luke Metcalf, again, getting it done for the Warriors, and Mitch Barnett looks like he's locked in an origin spot. Did you see anything else in this game? Let me know. 0457 736 736. Cowboys 30, Panthers 30. Down 12 points twice, the Cowboys. And then they absolutely dragged themselves back into the contest. And poor old Robert Darby. Whoa. What's the opposite of the try assist? The try cause? Oh, dear. Anyway, Tommy Dearden played well again. So did Scott Drinkwater. Add Blaze Taulagi and his coming of age. But all that Todd Payten wanted to talk about after the match was the referees. He's going to go through the official channels for the NRL and work out exactly what he thinks is going on or not going on, lack of consistency. Funnily enough, Ivan Cleary had a concern around lack of consistency and some of the decision-making or lack of decision-making by Todd Smith in the match. And here's the other thing. I know you go on about it all the time, Jimmy, but Todd Smith, is he in our top 5 referees? Remember, we've got the 5 referees who are going to do it every game over the course of the weekend. Does Todd Smith get a game? I think I put him in my top 6 2 weeks ago. But then the question is, like, you know, this is how you get the consistency. You get the best referees to do the games. It's so straightforward. And people will talk about the physical impact. Come on. 2 days recovery, they'll be fine. Storm 64, Tigers 0. So, wow. I mean, Pappy, wow. Justin Horro pre-game said, you know, we were talking about Origin Watch. And I said, well, Origin Watch, let's throw in Ryan Papenhuyzen. And he said, well, he'd have to score 5 tries if I was to even consider him for State of Origin. Well, you like apples, Justin? How do you like them apples? 36 points, 4 tries, just missed a 5th try. But absolutely incredible individual performance. 64-0 is a record or equaling performance as well. And there are just going to be scars for the Tigers. And I can speak from this from experience. We were beaten 60-0 by the Newcastle Knights back in 1999. Literally, you spend the next 2 days walking around questioning your life decisions and what, you know, if only we had clauses to activate back then. We'll get to that very shortly. But what are the scars that are going to be there for the West Tigers following an absolute drubbing? You know, there's losses, there's floggings, 64-0. That's an outlier. That's a record-breaking loss. And that's a concern for Benji Marshall and the West Tigers. Seagulls 14, Sharks 30. So had it on in the car, driving home, missed a lot of this game, got back home and it was 14-all with about 20 minutes to go. But Maestro, you are going to have a more in-depth look at the performance of, well, firstly, the Cronulla Sharks, who got themselves up to 5th on the ladder now, and Nicho Hines with another very good performance. And your Seagulls, 14.
The Sharks were rolling all the right way in the first half, Jimmy. And Manly really had no right to be in that game. As I mentioned, the penalty count went against Manly, but that was off the back of the Sharks battering us up front again. That's the second time they've done that. And Nicho Hines putting in probably his best performance of the season. They get let back into the game, started shifting the ball early. Tolu Kola's try comes off just some really good ball playing, and we've been calling for it, some of the Seagulls fans in here, for him to see more of the ball early. He got a try off the back of that, and you thought Manly would go on off the back. They were the favourites when that score was levelled at 14-all, and they throw it away. A dreadful error from Ruben Garrick. I mean, he had a day to forget, and off the back of that, the Sharks went on with it. Well done to them.
Well, you can't have a child every week, can you? Which is when Ruben plays well. So are you back in the Jamie Lyon camp after Ruben's...
Very much so.
Very much.
Very much so.
Okay, so there you go. What did we miss? Was there anything else that caught the eye? I'll tell you what did catch the eye of a number of people, and that is the... what was it? A tweet or an Instagram post by Jerome Luai's father. Now, I was just thinking about my late father, God love him, and what would he have used as his social media platform of choice. But get out clause activated. So it's neither here nor there, but what it does highlight is the fact that come November 1 this year, Jerome Luai will be on the open market. I would suggest, and I'm not apportioning all the blame on Jerome, but what I will say is after what wasn't the best performance from Mitch Moses on Thursday, he has got nothing to worry about when it comes to contenders for his halves position for New South Wales on the back of Jerome Luai and what happened with the Tigers. So get out clause activated. What do you think, West Tigers fans? Benji Marshall described the performance as embarrassing. And Craig Bellamy finally a little bit happy with the game, most notably the nil. To watch him in the coach's box get so disappointed with just a little drop ball. And I swear to God, Grant Anderson, when he kicked that ball that was low to him and it went over the dead ball line and ended up being a 7-tackle set to the top, I swear he was looking back up at the coach's box as he made his way back to the defence, just wondering, oh, God, what's Craig going to say about that? Are we concerned about a wetting ball? Is that... So apparently both teams did it, the Cowboys and the Panthers. Panthers one I saw on social media. That'd be Shane Spud Elford, who is the football manager and their blue shirt trainer on game day, squirting the ball. Todd Smith caught it out when the Cowboys tried to do it. But do we have an issue? I've got no problem with it. I will say this. I will send, if I'm the National Rugby League, I'd send a letter to both teams and say, hey, you can't do this again. All right, just to be clear. But do I think it had an impact on the game? No. I do not think it had an impact on the game. Hey, looking forward to this. Starts tomorrow, the Deal Makers. So Code Sports, who have been a sponsor across SEN at different stages, Peter Bedell, Brent Reid, Michael Carianis and Dave Riccio. So a couple of the guys there appear here on a regular basis. Starting tomorrow, they're going to have a look at the NRL Kingmakers, and that is the agents who hold a combined $200 million worth of playing talent in their hands. So that will be a fascinating read, and we do look forward to that one. Hey, this caught the eye as well too. It plays right into our wheelhouse, so I thought I'd better give it a mention. North Sydney Oval needs an upgrade to host NRL games, writes Adrian Prezenko. The mayor, that's Zoe Baker, wants to make it happen. All right, well, let's have a little further investigation of this. So the majority of games for the Western Bears over there at HBF Park, we know that. Peter Valenti said one. Didn't specify what. Someone made a really good point. Might have been Willow from Windsor. Well, trial games, they're still playing cricket in the middle of North Sydney Oval if they want to play trial games. But also there's male and female cricket being played there, soccer, rugby league teams. And here's one. Recently became more accessible following the introduction of a metro line a short distance away. So how fantastic is that? Having been on the metro line just this morning, I can attest to that. Very important which way you walk out of Victoria Cross, aka North Sydney, because if you get it wrong, you're up near North Sydney Oval and you're a long way from where you want to go. Anyway, that's learning from experience. But here's the other thing. They said, we need to be careful because we all know what happened at North Sydney Oval and at North Sydney Pool. And I said, no, I don't. What happened at North Sydney Pool? Well, it's been a bit of a kerfuffle. The construction company that undertook the project has launched a $28 million compensation court action against North Sydney Council. And the council has recently voted to request an 87% rate rise for property owners, in part because of the pool redevelopment. 87%, hello, outside of everything else going on in your council, that's grounds for sacking right there. Like who's allowed that to get to a point where you go in a one-off 87% increase? Send me the petition, change.org. That's outrageous. Anyway, they want about federal government, state government, local council. How much for North Sydney Oval? It's $100 million. It's $100 million before you. Oh, you know what one of the issues is? The seating. There's no individual seats. You just sit on a plank. How would you do ticketing for that? Hang on. The National Rugby League in 2027 want to do bench seats at North Sydney Oval. Come on. Please, be realistic about things, people. Thanks for watching. For more great content, subscribe to SEN League, your home of the greatest game of all.